Okay, today I'm going to be ducting my hood range. It's from Z-Line up through my attic. Now this is a bit difficult. So it's like 5 layers of ceiling and floors that I have to go through. That's what makes it a lot more difficult. This is what it comes with. It comes with a plastic vent. Now I called the company and I guess they still say they've had no issues with this. But if you look online, code is not to use plastic, and that's exactly what they give you, plastic piece. And I guess everybody uses it because that's what the manufacturer is recommending. But I went and got the rigid metal duct, and I'll show you that in a second. But the one I got, it has a crown molding on top. So, but before I can install that, I have to go and drill a bunch of holes through these ceilings. And here's the metal duct I got from local hardware store. I got 2 5s. That should be enough. 6-inch. All right, here's my diagram that I made. I have my stove and there's the range. So from here to here, it's a sheetrock lowered ceiling. And so I gotta go and drill through that. And that takes me to a 22-inch crawl space above that, which is really tight to get in there to do my next hole. And I think it's actually only 16 inches from the stud up. And it's lath and plaster. And I gotta get through that to get to the floorboard. Okay, the floorboard is part of my attic space. And that's 1x6 wood tongue and groove that I gotta go through there. Then once I get through that, I can run my pipe to the attic. And then from the attic, that's a whole nother, I gotta go through lath and plaster over here, and then to get to the wood roof, because it's a finished attic. If you got a newer home, you're just gonna be going through the sheetrock, which is right here. Say you got 8-foot ceiling, you go through the sheetrock, and your pipe goes up, and then most likely you're just gonna go through the roof. 2 layers. Me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers to get to the roof, okay? So this is a lot harder. And this would be anybody that has an attic space that's finished. Lath and plaster is a little bit harder to get through because they got wood that you gotta cut through. All right, my range is off. And my first cut is done. Right there. So the next one is plaster. That was sheetrock, so that was real easy to go through. All right, so I ran this 5-foot vent up that hole that I did, and I pulled it from up top, and then I put another circle where I thought it should be. Hopefully it's straight. All right, so if you have a problem with tight spaces, this job wouldn't be for you. There's my duct, and there's my circle. Got my glasses and a mask. And I just put up perimeters, holes all the way around to try to get this to come out as a circle. I don't have it, but here, I'll give you the old battery. There's that one. Okay. You see how tight I am right here? It's literally only like 16 inches of clearance from the bottom to the top.
Where are the holes at?
Everywhere. There's some over there.
Oh yeah, I see.
Some on the other side, there's some over here behind me. Just look at that, the big hole over there with the attic duct coming out of it. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Looks like somebody was using it as a fryer. Bunch of holes everywhere. They need to be patched. Put a couple more in here. Alright, there's my hole. Couple pieces of lath, 3 of them I gotta cut around. Alright, just cut out the lath, the wood lath with my sawzall. And oh shit, luckily I got lucky, there's some electrical wires there. They're gonna go too far to easily cut that. And you can see the floorboards right there. Tongue and groove, 1x6. And I got lucky because the stud right there, just away from where I'm at. All right, there's the hole up there I just drilled, and we'll go see up in the attic where it's at. All right, so we got lucky. The hole is in this weird, funky closet thingy that they did. And it's right over there. So that's perfect. It's gonna go right up. I got another plaster wall up there, ceiling, before I get to the roof, but thank goodness it's not on this actual wall here, or else I have to tear that down. All right, so there's my spot there. I did a cross just to kind of show me where I need to make it. I can kind of see where it's at. The hole below, it's somewhere right there. The whole wood plank broke. Yeah. Oh well, I can see a little better now. Somewhere right here. Probably just go through this one here. All right, there's that hole. Down to the next one, and then down to the next one, and then down to the next one. No, there's only 3. Okay, go ahead and push it up.
Okay.
And we're going to go through this floorboard. A little bit more. There we go. All right.
How far? Farther?
That's pretty good. I mean, I could go higher, but it's okay there for now.
Is your face?
I can see you. I can barely see you down there. Oh, there you are. So that's a 5-foot piece. So that fits down. Am I like where the those screws are, or am I a little lower?
Right in between them.
So, okay.
A bit lower.
All right, perfect. So then we only need one more piece. So I got the right amount, 2 pieces. All right, so I lifted it up all the way to the ceiling so I can mark exactly where I need to cut up here. It's kind of on a slanted roof here. All right, so we ran the pipe and I put some tape on it, on the seam, and that's where it's about just like a foot and a half up. So I need another 3 foot 5 inches to get to the ceiling, and then probably another 6 inches to get to the roof. So I got another 5 foot piece, which would be perfect for this. All right, so I ended up, I'm not gonna use the plastic at all. The only thing I'm gonna use is this little plastic top piece. And the reason why is because I can't fit this piece in here, and I can't fit the other piece in there either. Neither side will fit. It's just a little bit too big. I think it's because of the way this little crimped on piece goes. I'm sure I can cut that back maybe to get it in there better. What I did is just took that little plastic piece here. This screws off, and it's a couple inches long, and I shoved it up in there, and I'll just put some tape around it, and that fits perfectly. This plastic fits perfectly with the other plastic piece. So I like that fit better. But yeah, this corrugated plastic is going to be thrown away. I called the company today and they said that they had no complaints about this plastic piece, but I don't understand why, because it's against code in all states, I believe. They say it's a fire hazard if you use plastic, and it collects lint and dust. So, and it's corrugated, which is going to be less airflow, I guess. This is going to have better airflow, so I'm just going to stick with the duct, metal duct. And if you do ever get a fire in there, the only thing that can burn up is that little piece of plastic. One more ceiling, plaster ceiling, and the roof. All right, so now I'm ready for making my hole up top. I ran into some issues here, some problems. Okay, I put it, you can see I put a 90 degree bend. And the reason for that is because this wall here is actually sharing the wall to the other building. So there's a building next door that's connected that goes up. And so it's kind of like a valley where it's 2 parts, 90 degree bend here. I don't know if that's called a dead valley or what, but yeah, that's where a lot of water is going to be rushing down this. You can't put those caps close to the end. You need to be at least, I think it's 24 inches away from any valley. I don't know if that's considered a valley, but you definitely can't be at the end. And now I have the same thing over here. I have this doggy cutout. I forgot what they call them. You know, where you make a little notch up there, and it's like, looks like a doggy building on top of the roof. That goes up too, so I can't be close to there. So I need to be somewhere in between, which is about 25 inches, and I marked it right here. So what I'm gonna do is just run the cap here, and I got another metal duct, and I'll run it down like a foot down, or 8 inches or something off the ceiling. And then instead of putting a bunch of bends and stuff, I'll probably just put a piece of some aluminum flex. If I just run it 2 feet here maybe, and I think we'll be good. And for dealing with that offset bend, I bought this. It's a 3-ply aluminum foil. It's actually for bathroom and kitchen fan venting. All right, there's my hole. It's a bit of a stud there, so I had to move it over just a couple inches. All right, got a screw screwed in there. You can see it. I'm gonna go up on top and see where it's at and draw my circle and cut that out. All right, there's my hole. About 4 inches over, there's a stud right here. So I gotta make sure that this ring, 6 inches, don't come close to that stud. Somewhat centered to this spot here. You can see the doghouse dormer here. Okay, little bump out on the roof that they made. And I got this building here, this house that's connected to this other roof here. So water's gonna be gushing down here, so you don't want it close to that. So I think we're good there. And that eave over there, it's a boxed in gutter, so it kind of doesn't really splash over too much. Alright, so I cut out the circle with a nice hook blade. This. Alright, and I can see down there how good. That's just to get my my saw in there. Oh, that blade got twisted up. Sheesh. Holes there though. Test fit this thing. Perfect. Now it's easier. See, I'm like right by the stud there, about that far away, about 2 inches. It's easier to install this. I'm gonna have to use an elbow because this kind of goes down at a slant. Put an elbow, you can straighten it out when it goes down. I'm gonna install this up here before I put it down there. It's a lot easier. All right, before I put that pipe on here, I need to see where I need to cut my shingles. So this one needs to go under these shingles here, these two, so I need to lift those up. And same with these side ones, these need to ride on top. This one here, I think I'll just ride on top of that one and hit my screws through here. Some of these up. I'm not going to loosen these ones because that's where it's going to sit. So I just loosen up these ones here and a couple up here just in case. Those will have to be sealed back down when I'm finished. This can go right up there like that. I actually want to put all of these. Alright, had to cut out a square notch to fit this square part here. Then you could slide it up underneath. Take a few nails out that are in the way. Slide up under the outer row. And there we go. I gotta nail it down. A couple up here, but underneath, it's gonna be a little bit hard to lift up those shingles, so you gotta kind of lift them up to get up under there. All right, got some mastic tape around this and 2 screws. You see the screws in there. And I'm gonna try to get it in there just like that. I'm gonna have to lift these shingles up. It's gonna be a little bit hard, but I'm gonna try to get it in like that because there's no way I'm gonna get this on after I get that cap installed. All right, started sealing everything, re-nailing it, and putting caulking where it needs to go. I put actually another shingle up over here because I didn't like this crack was right on that seam, so I put it under there and I put some adhesive under it, so it looks all right. I probably can cut this out a little bit like that, but yeah, it's okay. I got to put a couple screws down here. I put some adhesive all the way around. I'm using this stuff here, some crystal clear sealant, all purpose. But I'm going to use some metal roof screws here. Alright, I used some metal roofing nails. Screws. 2 on that side, 2 on that side, because this steel is really thick, and what I noticed is it kind of bows. It's so thick. So I wanted to make sure it was flat to the surface, or else water can eventually get up in there. So yeah, that's why I put 2 screws at the bottom. I think we're good. I think we're real good. And there it looks from inside. It's closed right now. Maybe just a small bead here going across, just in case. What the heck, just to keep that metal down. And then we're good. Got some of this sealant here, some of it over there, so I think we're good. Now I'll just go around and touch up any other spots on these old attic vents that I got. They installed this one on top of the roof, which is kind of weird. I'll just go around and fix these up, because this sealant is not gonna be good for next year. All right, the vent is now installed. That's how it looks. Got it all sealed up. Okay. Not sure what pitch I got. It feels like a 6/12, 7/12 pitch or something like that. It's walkable. You can see what I mean about it bowing, because it's such a thick steel. Bows a little bit, but that's okay at the bottom. I sealed it way up here real thick, so anything that gets in there. Actually, I sealed it all the way around that circle. 2 beads around the circle. Then I put a bead on the outer border going down this way, and then you leave a little gap there so any water does get in there, it has a way to come out. All right, I had my gutter guards on for over almost a year now. Let's check them out. You see, we're in fall here. All the trees lost their leaves mostly. See a bunch of leaves still up here, but nothing in the gutters. Yeah, they just sit on top, and then the wind comes and just blows them all off. So yeah, these gutter guards, they're working for me. Might get an occasional little stick stuck. That's about it. And I sealed this, and it's not leaking. I'll put a link in the description too. This seal is the best roofing seal I've ever used before. It's a silicone seal, and if you got any cracks, you know, where the roof butts up to a wall or something, you got a leak, this is the best stuff to use. You can use it around flashing. Look at that. It's like, it's still kind of soft, and it's, you know, so if the wood flexes or something, it'll kind of move with it. And you can see over here, I used it on my vent. And this thing is, it's solid, it's perfect. There's no way water's gonna get in there. All right, let's see how it looks. Get some light in here. All right, that's perfect. All right, perfect angle and everything. Whew. All right, there's that stud there. I can smell the sealant because I put a lot in there. And there's the little flapper inside. So I think that's job well done. One more connection and I'm finished with this duct run. Flexible duct from here to there, and that'll be it. So actually I didn't need that other 5-foot piece of metal duct because yeah, it's not lining up. So, but again, we already talked about that, why I had to move it over. I can't be close to that wall. All that rain's gonna hit that siding, and then it's gonna come down and it's come right into that cap, and it's possible it could leak if you have it that close too. All right, put a flex tape, and then I put a clamp up here, and down here I'll just put some tape. I didn't want to use flex pipe, but you know what, if it collects dust in it, you know, I got enough here to every few years, every year or two, this gets full of lint or dust, just take it off, put a new piece on. It's really easy to do. So that's job done. And now I'll just take some foam in a can and get all this cracks. Seal all those cracks up. Same up there, I'll put some new plaster around that hole. Alright, there's a couple layers of mastic tape over that flex tape to keep that, because that flex tape will not stay, especially if the attic's cold. It'll eventually peel off. But it does stick to this stuff good, foil. This mastic will stay on there permanently. Better than duct tape. I actually don't want to use duct tape on duct work, which is kind of funny. I don't know who named it duct tape. So that's how I ran my duct, guys, from my Z-line kitchen range hood up through 5 layers of ceilings and floors and roof. And yeah, it's a little bit hard. I wouldn't want to do this again, so I'm glad it's done. Catch you on the next video. This is Jacob, the Home Fixer channel on YouTube.